Good morning. I hope you all are reading the current affairs newspaper and making short notes also. So this current affairs class should be a revision class for you. Like what you have to do is you have to read the current affairs weekly and then you have to come and see what all topics am I choosing, am I discussing, है ना? I'll be choosing certain topics and I'm discussing certain topics and what were the topics that you thought that they are important. So please make a comparison and see what all topics you missed and how to cover those topics, because all these topics are in news. There are so many topics in news for the whole week. More than 50 topics are very important in a week. But we cannot cover all the topics. Only selected topics we'll cover, like wildlife sanctuaries are always in news, national parks are always in news, volcanoes, disasters, and some committees are in news, right? Yeah. So, one second, let me share the live. So we will be covering the topics from 26th April to 2nd of May 2025. And okay. How to cover the topics and what all aspects should we cover? These things we will learn. I think it is clear for you, no? You understood, right? How to cover the topics? Hmm? Yes, yes. Now, connected me. The topics, how some topics are relevant, what information, because current affairs is vast. There are so many things. Like if we look at this topic, Zero Shadow Day, a unique celestial phenomena. So what is happening? Either sun ka movement. There are so many subtopics are there. Like what is zero shadow day, right? What is the sun's declination? Huh? And these things we have to understand. Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, anything associated with this thing can be asked. Like Tropic of Cancer passes from India through which states? So current affairs is so vast, right? So we have to keep limited, and these are some basic facts which we should know, that Tropic of Cancer passes through 7 states or 6 states, like that. So what is where in India is a zero shadow day observed, like this? What all states can observe? Huh? Why not northern states can observe zero shadow day? What is the reason, right? And how zero shadow day is observed? Zero shadow day means that there is what? Zero shadow day. Zero shadow day. Zero shadow day. There is no shadow, but it cannot happen. Shadow will be there, but there will be no shadow, will not fall on the ground, and like tilted. We will not see the shadow. We are not able to see the shadow. Shadow is like sun is overhead us, over the head, sun. So it does not create a shadow which we can see. Okay. So zero shadow day is what? Phenomena where no shadow of a vertical object or tilted object is cast as the sun is exactly overhead. See, no shadow is there, right? So Mysore, it was observed. Zero shadow day was observed in Mysore by which institute? Cosmos. Cosmos ka full form. What is the full form of Cosmos? Cosmology Education and Research Training Center. Located in Mysore, it observed the zero shadow day, a rare and visually striking astronomical event. It is a rare phenomena, so we should know. Sometimes very simple questions are asked in UPSC. Our motto is to crack UPSC examination. Correct. To crack UPSC examination. And what kind of questions can come? So when India celebrates Zero Shadow Day or world celebrates, we have to know, we have to memorize the facts related to this, right? Like Earth Day is observed. So when is the date for Earth Day? all the international events which are very important. Looking at the importance, the relevance of the topic, we have to understand. And how we will understand the relevance of topic? When we'll start covering and looking at the number of questions that are asked from a topic, how questions are asked, right? So going through the previous year question is very important. Okay. Only then you know that these kind of questions are also coming. Some simple kind of question, like one question came from World Toilet Organization last year. World Toilet, WTO, we know trade organization, but World Toilet Organization was also in news. So they asked about this thing and nobody read about it, right? But then also there are some tricks which we can apply and easily get the answer. That also we have to learn. For that, teachers are there. Okay. Okay. So what is the definition? That sun is exactly overhead, so it does not form a vertical shadow. Okay. And what is the cause for this? So sun declination, the angle of the sun is equal to latitude of the location. So because of that, this event is happening. So this thing is important. Geographical range is what? It cannot go beyond Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. This you have to remember. This can be asked. This is very important. So Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. Next is technically last a fraction of a second. This angular movement which sun holds for zero shadow day, angular and latitude, this only lasts for a second, but its impact is can be seen for 1 to 1.5 minutes on the earth. Okay, so that is why we can see the no shadow effect. Now it happens twice a year and once during the sun moving north, Uttarayan, and Dakshinayan moving south. So these are the two events during which it happens. Due to Earth's axial tilt and revolution around the sun's position changes daily relative to the observer's zenith. So because of the movement of the sun and the tilt of the earth, it happens. Next is when it is observed in India, southern location and location below Bhopal's latitude, because Tropic of Cancer, right? Tropic of Cancer, Bhopal is in Madhya Pradesh, right? Rajasthan, Gujarat. So these are the things. Rajasthan is here, sorry, Gujarat. Okay. So southern Indian locations below Bhopal's latitude are eligible. This is important. They can, UPSC can form any kind of question, right? So Andaman Nicobar, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Odisha, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, southern Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tripura, Mizoram, Puducherry. So these states observe zero shadow day. Okay. So these are the some facts that you can remember. And yes, one thing can be asked is zero shadow day equal to equinox? Right. So they are not similar. They are not similar at all. Equinox is what? Global and occurs on fixed date. Equinox has a fixed date. Zero shadow day doesn't have a fixed date. Right. While ZSD is location specific and date specific. And equinox happens at everywhere. Okay. Mains relevance. What kind of question can come from the mains perspective? What is zero shadow day? And explain the geographical and astronomical principles behind it. How these phenomena can be used to promote public interest in science. Curiosity, right? Why it is happening, how it is happening, right? So curiosity, how this can generate interest in science, and government is also working towards what? Science, interest in science, right? School children, focusing on school children to have this interest, to ask question, to investigate, to have curiosity, right? Because science is very important and we need what? We need people who are entrepreneurship. We need creativity, right? India is also working towards it. Then only we can be a developed nation. Otherwise, if we are dependent on creativity for others, then nothing is going to be happening. Consider the following statement regarding zero shadow day. Answer. Read all the statement and then give me the answer. Which statement is correct? Is this correct? It occurs only once a year at the equator. It occurs how many times? Twice. It occurs twice a year. So this is wrong. Next is it occurs in regions between the Cancer and Capricorn. Correct. On this day, the sun is exactly overhead and vertical of correct. Right? So answer is B, 2 and 3 only, and it occurs twice a year for each place and not only at the equator. So read the sentence very carefully. At the equator, not only at the equator. Now this topic is important. Scientists find breathing magma cap inside Yellowstone super volcano. Super volcano. Two things are important. Now, first is Yellowstone super volcano. Yellowstone National Park is also there. Okay. Yellowstone National Park is also there. And super volcano. What is super volcano? We have to understand. And breathing magma cap. So one kind of question that can come is that Yellowstone super volcano was in news. Why? So because of the breathing magma cap that scientists have found. What is a breathing magma cap? So there is a event that is happening, and because of thing, it seems like the magma is breathing. And so because of that, they have given the breathing magma cap name. Yellowstones appears to have a magma cap. There is a cap that vents pressure and reduces the chances of a massive eruption. So it is releasing the pressure, and then it is reducing the volcanic activity, reducing the eruption of volcano. How volcano erupts, that is also important then, right? Volcanism. What is volcanism? How volcanoes are erupting? What it leads to? How many kinds of volcanoes are there? That is also important. What it is? What is the meaning of super volcano? The newly discovered cap is 2.6 miles. 3.8 kilometers is the distance, the area, the size of the surface of Yellowstone. So just look at the size and the impact. Bigger the size, bigger will be the impact. That is why it is called super volcano. Okay. So breathing magma cap has been discovered, offering insights into predicting future eruptions. Okay. What is the location? Location is very important for United States, Western United States. And then what is the type of volcano? So it is a collapsed volcanic crater, which is called as caldera. Collapsed volcanic crater. So magma was over, like it erupted enough, and then magma was not there. Now again, magma is there, and it is an active super volcano, and it is the one of the largest active volcanic system in the world. 3 times it has erupted, and it is active because chances are there that it will be erupted again. These three were so big, these three eruptions were so big that it emptied. There was no magma chamber, leading to the collapse of the ground, right? Space was there, vacant space was there, so ground collapsed and ball-shaped caldera was formed. The pyroclastic material ejected was vast. Whatever material came, it was so vast and impact was so huge that it was termed as a super volcano. So what are super volcanoes? What are super volcanoes? Why it is called super volcano? Because of the impact. Size. Correct. Bigger the size. 3.8 kilometers of the magma it has. Magma surface. 3.8 kilometers. And impact is also huge. So it covered. It erupted over 1000 cubic kilometers of volcanic material. Right. So impact was also big. It erupts over 1000 cubic kilometer of volcanic material. That is why it is called super volcano, because of the magma that it releases. Okay. Next is, can alter global climate. Now, when the earth material is coming outside, what will happen? Impact will be there. It will be damaging the area, the people, the animals, the vegetation around it. Also, what will happen is global climate effect will be there. That one term is there, global warming. Next term is global cooling. Global cooling is another term. It leads to what? So there will be a surface, there will be a thin layer of surface which will be formed after it erupts, and that will lead to blocking the sunlight. Sunlight will not be coming to the surface because of this blockage, right? And what will happen then? Cooling effect will be there, right? No sunlight, cooling effect will be there. It can cause mass extinction also and lead to wide scale ecological disruption. Obviously, it will be hampering, it will be damaging the animals, the wildlife, the trees, everything. Correct. So global cooling will be there because of this eruption. A breathing cap has been detected. It expands and contracts with pressure changes. Looks like it is breathing, right? Releases whenever it releases the pressure, expands and then contracts again. Next is could help forecast eruption. Why this study is important? Because we are monitoring it, and whenever any high chances of eruption is there, we can do what? Mitigate the damage. We can save many things. Correct. We can be ready. So one layer will be formed if this volcano erupts. What will happen? One layer will be formed around this area. Correct. And aerosols, it will block sunlight. Sulfur dioxide released during an eruption forms aerosols. So this gas will be released and it will be forming aerosol, and that will be blocking the sunlight, and that will lead to global cooling for several years. Okay. So another bad event. The cooling subsides once SO2 is removed, and there are many ways through which we can remove this aerosol. Rain, via the rain or other effects. Potential effect of a future eruption. Ash, there will be a blanket near this area, right? Areas near Yellowstone could be covered over 1 meter of ash, and there will be loss because sunlight is not coming, agriculture will not be there, right? Many weather events will also be altering, weather events, loss will be there, and other effects will also be there. Everything is associated. So Yellowstone is a hotspot, and these are the notes that you can read. Question, what kind of question can come? Definitely they can ask what is a simple question, what is a super volcano, like they have asked what is cyclone, what leads to the formation of the cyclone. So what is a super volcano? Discuss the potential impact of super volcanic eruption on global climate and human civilization. This is important. Global climate and human civilization impact always will be asked with reference to Yellowstone caldera. Now consider the following statement. Answer. It lies on the western coast of the United States. It is a cone-shaped stratovolcano with a history of recent eruption, and it is one of the largest known caldera-forming volcanoes in the world. What is the answer? Online students, answer. Okay, fourth statement is also there. Its disruption can impact global climate by releasing large quantity of sulfur dioxide. This is correct. Answer is 3 and 4. Yeah, it is not a stratovolcano because it is a caldera, cone-shaped volcano, right? Not stratovolcano, and it lies inland, not on the coast. It is under the land because it has, because of the emptiness of the magma. There is no magma. There was no magma. Emptied magma. What happened? It collapsed, right? Next is getting the BBNJ agreement entered into force at the United Nations Ocean Conference will be an ambitious task. Nicola Clark is saying. So what is happening? This is in news. What? Marine biological diversity of areas beyond national jurisdiction, BBNJ. Very, very important. These meetings or these groups are very important when it comes at the international level. Marine biological diversity of areas beyond national jurisdiction. It is termed as BBNJ and or the High Seas Treaty. Question has come from the this High Seas Treaty also. Delegates have met. So New York, they met for the first session of the preparatory commission. So question has come from UNCLOS, United Nations Convention of Law of Sea. United Nations Convention on Law of Sea. This is a framework which guides what? How to use the seas beyond the national jurisdiction. How to use. Who is taking care? Because Earth is so vast. There are so many things, and country has a boundary, right? Every country has a boundary. There are some areas which are beyond the control of the countries. So they are governed by seas. It is talking about law of sea. Okay. UNCLOS, law of sea. It governs areas beyond the jurisdiction of the country. Okay. So what is happening here is delegates met in New York for the first session of the Preparatory Commission to meet and implement the United Nations High Seas Treaty. This will be implemented. High Seas Treaty. It is also called as the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction. So same name, two names are there. Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction. Understood? This is the topic. Okay. Now, this meeting sets the stage for the first conference of parties, COP1. So this meeting which is happening, it is called as Conference of Party 1 for High Seas Treaty. You might have heard about Conference of Party 16 related to, no, not marine, related to climate change, UNFCCC, Conference of Party 28, Conference of Party to 16, like that. So this, for the high seas. Now we have to know the definition of high seas also. For the high seas, this is the first conference which is going to happen for the high seas. Understand? Okay. For climate change, for desertification, everywhere conferences are held to save them, to protect them. Now, what is happening in the high seas? Because countries are exploiting the resources. We see China also. Sometimes it goes beyond the jurisdiction, and in other countries' periphery also it enters and it starts exploiting the resources. We have seen in the Indian Ocean also, right? About the United Nations High Seas Treaty. So, to stop the countries from doing this, from exploiting the resources, and they do not do the damage. Already we are facing so many damages, right? So, to control everything, this step has been taken, this framework has been made. Now adopted by United Nations. High Seas Treaty is adopted by United Nations under, it will come under law of the sea, because this is currently governing the seas. Okay. Paris Agreement, other name is Paris Agreement for the ocean now. Paris Agreement for climate change is there. Correct? Now this is happening in New York. Paris Agreement for the ocean, it is termed as, and it is legally binding treaty. Again, very important. Legally binding means everyone has to make some kind of law in their country, right? To implement this. Once they sign, once they ratify, then they will have to make a law. Law like Wildlife Protection Act is there in India, right? So we are governing that thing. We are implementing that thing. Protection. So same time we have to do something for the high seas also. Some act will be made which will be working towards this arrangement, this framework. Objective is to do what? Protect marine biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, because people are not taking care of the thing. They are only exploiting the resources. They will not take care of the biodiversity. But we have a role to play. And if we disturb the nature, we will disturb ourselves, right? Treaty enters into force 120 days after 60 countries ratify it. So it has not been ratified. After ratification, it will enter into force. Now, SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. Very important. Whenever any topic is in news, see if it is matching with the Sustainable Development Goal or not. So this is matching. Life below water. SDG 14. Okay, so this is matching with the Sustainable Development Goals. Do you know about Sustainable Development Goals? Okay. These are the goals which every country has to achieve by 2030. There are 17 goals and some targets are there. 169 targets under 17 goals. It's sustainable development goals. Means the development should be sustainable. What is sustainable development definition? Beyond compromising the needs of the future generation, we are using the resources in a sustainable way that they survive for long. If we are using minerals, we don't have to exhaust it. We have to save it for future generation also. If we are using water, we have to save it for future generation, right? We have to save this earth for future generations. This is sustainable development, and this will be done in a sustainable way. This is the best way currently. Otherwise, we will see disasters and earth will be collapsing very soon. So sustainable development goals were adopted, and the target limit to meet these goals is 2030. There are 17 goals. Goals like inequality should not be there. Goals like climate action is there. Goals like life below water, we have to conserve it. So it is following this thing also. It is meeting the sustainable development goal number 14. So all these components are important. This slide is very important because any kind of question UPSC can form based on this thing. That Paris Agreement on Ocean, what is it? Okay, so they can match it, like they can ask you indirectly, they will ask that Paris Agreement for the ocean is also called as BBNJ or High Seas Treaty. This has been the pattern of UPSC, trend of UPSC. Key features of the treaty. Okay. Key features are what? So conservation is in their mind. Biodiversity conservation, right? Aims to protect 30% of world oceans by 2030. This is matching with Biodiversity Conference 2022, right? 30%, 30 into 30. I think this question has been asked already. This was asked that 30 into 30 is what? Huh? 13 to 30 is what? So this is what? 30% of the world ocean we have to save by 2030. Right? So these kind of uh, some kind of things are also given in the examination which matches with the framework. Okay. 13 to it is a 13 to 30 pledge from United Nations Biodiversity Conference. Okay. Next is it enables the creation of marine protected areas in the high seas. So objective we know. What is the objective? Protection, conservation. And it matches with the goal of United Nations Biodiversity Conference also because biodiversity conservation is priority. Why high seas treaty is there? Because biodiversity conservation is in mind and it is matching with this also 30 into 30 goal of the biodiversity conference. Legal and ethical governance contains 75 articles covering protection, sustainable use, fair benefit sharing. This you have to only read. This will not be asked. Prohibits countries from claiming sovereign right over the high seas marine genetic resources. So there is this war going on, silent war, genetic war is going on, है ना? Genetic resource, marine resource to tap on the marine resources. How we can make maximum use. Countries are fighting for this thing. China is a very good example for this thing. So prohibit countries from claiming sovereign rights over high seas marine genetic resources. They cannot exploit anything, huh? According to their wishes. Enforces equitable sharing. Whatever is there, it should be shared equitably for benefits from ocean resources. Okay. So equitable sharing should be there. Okay. If any deep sea mining activity is there, so that should be governed for commercial activities and environmental impact assessment should be there. Supports area based management. Now institutional mechanism is there. It establishes a conference of party and this is first conference of party related to high seas treaty. Implementation, compliance and governance structure. These will be taken care of. So what are the high seas? High seas are the areas beyond 200 nautical miles from the national coastlines. So this area is governed by United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. Okay, that is why jurisdiction no country owns is these waters and comprises over 60% of ocean surface area. So big area is there. Next is challenges are what? It is unregulated. So overfishing is there, exploitation again, pollution, exploitation is there. So this is the concern, which is why this treaty has come under the force. See, the high seas cover over more than 60%, no, 60% of the ocean area. So this is very important. Discuss the significance of United Nations High Seas Treaty in promoting marine biodiversity governance. How does the treaty ensure sustainability and equity in use of oceanic resources? Now the answer. Online students, give me the answer. What is the answer? It is legally binding and aims to protect marine biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction. Legally binding and every word is very important in this, huh? Prelims. aims to protect marine biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction. Second is treaty allows countries to claim sovereign rights over marine genetic resources in the high seas. Is this correct? No. Third, it mandates environmental impact assessment for activities like deep sea mining. Correct? So answer is correct. So first is wrong because no, second is wrong. It does not allow sovereign right. It does not allow sovereign right in the high seas. India skirts maritime border dispute with Pakistan by fresh continental shelves claim. Very, very important. Two, three things are very important in this topic. We already know what is going on between India and Pakistan, right? War-like situation. So, what is this continental shelf? First, we have to understand this thing. India skirts maritime border dispute with Pakistan. This gives them right to commercially mine for valuable minerals, polymetallic nodules, and oil reserves. So now we know that continental shelves. Why India is doing this? Because this is important for minerals, polymetallic nodules, which are again very important. And one very important news was there recently related to polymetallic nodules. And oil reserves are also there. So, which is why India is, every country is doing this. So, polymetallic nodules were in news. Have you read any news? Online students, have you read any news related to polymetallic nodules? Very important news. Important term was there, which is called dark oxygen. Dark oxygen was in news. What is dark oxygen? Hmm? So, these terms are also very much important for us because UPSC asks the definition of these terms. What is blue oxygen, dark oxygen, green oxygen, like that? Like if any news is there, green hydrogen, blue hydrogen, like that. So we have to understand what is dark oxygen. What do you think is dark oxygen? Just simple understanding. What do you get if you listen to this term, dark oxygen? What do you think it could have? What is the meaning of this thing? Just guess. Dark oxygen. Hmm. Why it is called dark oxygen? Absence of sunlight? Huh? Absence of sunlight. So it is oxygen which is produced in the deep sea, right? Correct. Polymetallic nodules. So correct definition you go and find. I want you to do this work because this curiosity, this investigation is very important. Research habit is very important, right? So what I do in class is I will tell you the important things and you yourself have to go and check the answer so that you can look at the different dimensions also. So dark oxygen is related to, so polymetallic nodules are releasing dark oxygen in the ocean, which is helping the biodiversity to survive there. It is providing the oxygen required for the marine fishes and other organisms or the biodiversity. Okay. So this was also in the news. Many things we are finding. So India is doing this, and where it is doing? Arabian Sea, Central Arabian Sea. 10,000 square kilometer of area. It has expanded by 10,000 square kilometer of area. And now the important part is, what is continental shelf? Continental shelf. So there is a continent, right? Continents are there which are above the water. Continents are what? Above the water. But under the water also there is some landforms. There are some landforms now which are filled by water, and then we call it ocean or other water bodies. But there is this continental shelf which is the area under the sea, under the water. Okay. Submerged extension of a continent. So this will be submerged under the water, but it is a extension of a continent only under shallow ocean waters. Now, structure is what? Includes shelf, which is a slope, shelf break, which is a drop, steep drop, and then slope. So this is the structure of the continental shelf divided into three features. Formation, accumulated sediments from rivers and organic remains over millions of years form the shelf. Now, average size is what? 65 kilometers, depth is 60 meters, and it is rich in marine biodiversity and nutrients. We saw that there are minerals also in continental shelf. Oil reserves are also found. That is why India has also expanded. Now, what is extended continental shelf? See, same like the seas, extended sea. Extended sea is what? Area beyond the jurisdiction. Extended continental shelf also. So there is a land also which is beyond the jurisdiction of a country. So it is called extended continental shelf. And again, it is governed by the law of the sea. Why? Because underwater, right? So standard limit is what? Coastal countries have rights up to 200 nautical miles. Continental shelf, 200 nautical miles, 370 kilometers. Up to 370 kilometers, they are governed by the country, this continental shelf. And after that, it will not be governed. It will be governed by UNCLOS. Okay. But extension right is there. Countries may claim beyond 200 nautical miles also by proving geological continuity to the Commission on the limit of the continental shelf. If they prove that this is a part of their continent, then that can be granted. Sovereign rights. So this is very important. These things we get there. That is why this war or this thing is happening. Sovereign rights to exploit oil, gas, and polymetallic nodule. Okay, India submitted claims to CLCS in 2009. So it is ready to prove the continuity. India's recent action, so 10,000 added in the Central Arabian Sea and enhances resource right over seabed mineral and hydrocarbons. Diplomatic move and then long-term vision. What is the vision? Security, securing maritime rights for energy security and blue economy growth. Now, very important, the question, what kind of question can come is, what is the significance of United Nations UNCLOS in determining maritime boundaries, and discuss how the concept of extended continental shelf enhances a country's strategic and economic position with reference to India. Why India is doing this? Securing maritime, right? And the economy, blue economy related to water, right? Water resources. So India is doing this because of the economy only. Shelf break. What is a shelf break? It is the point where continental shelf drops steeply into the deep ocean. These all are the short notes. Now question. First statement is, it can, okay, reference to the extended continental shelf, consider the following statements. It can only extend up to 200 nautical miles from a coastal state's baseline. It provides a coastal country exclusive rights to explore and exploit resources of the seabed. Batao. Answer. The claim to an extended shelf must be verified, approved by the international body under UNCLOS. Answer. Why? Correct. First statement is wrong. Something is wrong. What is wrong? It starts after 200 nautical miles, right? Correct. So generally, whenever this only statement word is used, na extreme kind of statement, that only this country has this, only this is the correct fact. So this is usually wrong, but not all the times. Like obviously some 1%, 2% is there where it is right also. But for that you have to be very sure. Otherwise 90% we mark it as wrong only. Okay. It provides a coastal country exclusive right to explore, exploit resources of the seabed. Is it correct? Answer is very easy. First statement is wrong. Then also you can say that B is correct. 2 and 3 is correct, right? So it extends beyond 200. Now, National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation honored with Udyog Vikas Award. Very, very important. Udyog Vikas. Udyog means udyog. नहीं नहीं. Udyog related to, okay, National Industrial Corridor Development Corporation. Very important. This has been honored with Udyog Vikas Award, Industry Development Award. Palakkad Industrial Smart City to reshape Kerala's industrial landscape. Union Minister of State is saying Union government committed to developing greenfield industrial smart city across India. Now, this topic is related to what? What is the topic about? Governance. Okay. Any other thing? Major important part is what? No, no, no. Okay. Industrial smart cities, right? So this is the major topic here that we will be discussing, right? So this is a PIB article. Okay. So this event was organized by Janmabhoomi Daily in Kerala. And what is this industrial corridor development project? So objective is to build what? Next generation industrial smart cities. Industrial smart cities. So what are industrial smart cities? First information. What are industrial smart cities that we have to know? To boost manufacturing and export. So industrial smart cities means that it will be having the kind of setup or environment which will be boosting the industry, right? It will be totally aligning with the technology also and the resources also and the accessibility also, right? Which will be helping in development of the industries. Vision: support India's ambition of achieving 2 trillion in exports by 2030. Very, very important. What is the vision behind industrial smart city is supporting this ambition of India, 2 trillion in export by 2030. These facts are very important sometimes. How you can use these facts whenever you're writing answer in mains or any kind of question is coming. Our government also, like UPSC also asks questions related to the target of India. And India wants to achieve this kind of thing by which year, like that. Okay. So this is related to industries that we have to achieve export, 2 trillion of exports, dollar exports. Now focus is on infrastructure, logistic, technology, investment, attraction. These all things will be there in industrial smart cities. Infrastructure, good infrastructure we should have. Investment is very important. Next is technology, AI. AI will also be there. Logistics support should be there, and these things, right? Alignment with PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan. Gati Shakti related to logistics, infrastructure, right? Logistics and infrastructure are totally, they cannot survive without each other, right? For the movement of the things, right? We need infrastructure. Okay, these are the recently sanctioned industrial nodes. What are the industrial areas? So Uttarakhand, Punjab, Maharashtra, Kerala, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Rajasthan. In these, the industrial nodes have been sanctioned. Okay. Next is focus highlight Palakkad Industrial Smart City. These are the important information which you can read. I don't think question will come from here, but Palakkad is important. This district is important that you should know. Okay. Multimodal connectivity will be there, road, rail, and air. So which is by infrastructure is an important component in this industrial smart city. Now economic impact will be what? When many of these activities are happening, employment generation will be there directly. So more people at the hand of, more money at the hand of people, more consumption will be there, right? More consumption, more production will be there, correct? So innovation hub, industrial gateway of South India. So this is the vision, industrial gateway of South India, Palakkad. Next is innovation hub, and employment generation will be there. So it will be solving many of the issues. Now key features will be what? Smart utility will be there, power, water, waste management, plug and play infrastructure. This is in news, plug and play infrastructure. Like this term is in news since 2-3 years. Plug and play. What does it mean? Plug and play. These words, whenever these kind of attractive words come, you should memorize it and you should start using it in your daily life, so that whenever you write answer also, see, everyone knows what to do, how to do, but how you are making things different, that is very important. So these things, plug and play. What is the meaning of plug and play infrastructure? Plug and play, plug and play, ready to use, right? So that kind of infrastructure, which is like at the when we switch it on, it is ready to be used. Right? That kind of smart infrastructure we need. So this is the example of plug and play. Focus on sustainable, resilient ecosystem. This is the feature. Promotion of Make in India, Startup India, Digital India initiative. So this is aligning with all the initiatives of India, vision of India, smart industrial cities. Okay. So this is what Industrial Corridor is a special purpose vehicle under DPIIT, and it integrates with Bharatmala, Sagarmala, Udan dedicated freight corridors. Palakkad Industrial City is Kerala's largest planned industrial investment zone under NICDP. Okay, so this is important because Kerala, so for you it is very important. Whatever development is happening, means question, discuss the significance of National Industrial Corridor Development Program in transforming India's manufacturing and export potential. How it is going to help the manufacturing and export potential of India. So, how many states have been selected for this? What all states are there? Do you remember? Uttarakhand, Punjab, Bihar, right? Many states are there. So, it is going to change the landscape of industry in the India. Yes or no? Export potential. How do smart industrial cities like Palakkad contribute to regional economic development? So it will be affecting the regional development also. Yes or no? Correct? MCQ. Answer. Online students, answer this question, please. With reference to the program, consider the following statement. It is managed by Ministry of MSME. Why not one? Why not one? So sometimes general, like if we understand some things now, so without memorizing the fact, we can answer the question. Why not MSME? MSME is a part of this corridor, not managed by. It is managed by DPIIT, right? Department for Promotion of Industrial, right? Industry. So DPIIT under Ministry of Commerce. It is governing this thing. Okay. Next is it aims to develop industrial smart cities aligned with PM Gati Shakti model. Correct hai? One of the notes correct, right? So answer is 2 and 3. India's first wolf sanctuary in Jharkhand offers hope. India's first wolf sanctuary in Jharkhand. Mahuadan. So because it is first, whenever any first thing is there, it becomes important. Mahuadan, India's first wolf sanctuary in Jharkhand. So location is also important. Jharkhand offers hope for an often vilified Indian carnivore. The Sarna faith of Adivasis, see, community. Sarna faith of Adivasi in the area has helped to protect the lupines as tribal practices of avoiding entry into Sal forest in winter. Alliance with wolf, denning and pup rearing. So because of a practice that they are doing, it is actually helping them in conserving this thing, protecting the babies. Okay. So we know that it is in Jharkhand. This is the first information and the first and only wolf sanctuary in the India. Now, okay, this is the basic information. It is a part of Palamo Tiger Reserve. Again, second information that we got is it is a part of this wolf sanctuary is a part of Palamo Tiger Reserve. Other faunas are also found: spotted deer, wild boar, hyena, bear, and Indian wolf. Hyena is also in news. Hyenas were also in news this week, last week. Why? Hmm? Did you cover all these news? No? Covered. So this is the information related to grey wolf. Scientific name is there, Canis lupus palps, and habitat is scrubland, grassland, semi-arid region. Small packs is there. They move in small packs. Nocturnal, less vocal, and tolerant of high. Sorry. This is Sarnath. Adivasi. Yeah. Sarna faith of Adivasis. Sarna faith of Adivasis, tribal community. Hmm. Okay. Behavior adaptation. So they are tolerant of high temperature. So temperature is not an issue. Organization and status. CITES appendix were highest international protection and IUCN endangered India specific. Now Wildlife Protection Act, maximum protection in India because the population is declining. Okay. These are the important information points that the Indian grey wolf is endangered with an estimated population of 2000 to 3000, and this we already know that highest protection is provided in every list. This name is important. This can be asked that this sanctuary is in which state? Simple question, right? Discuss the ecological significance of the wolf and evaluate the role of the sanctuary in conservation. What challenges do such specific species, specific sanctuaries face in India? Hmm? Challenges and impact also of the species specific sanctuary. What will be the impact? Better attention will be given, better protection will be provided, right? They will be taking care of all the needs of the species. So we will see better improvement also. Now answer for this question. It is located in Chhattisgarh. Wrong. Correct. Indian grey is classified as endangered. Hmm? And third is what? So answer is 2 and 3 only. Correct. Next is International Hyena Day 2025. Hyenas. Every animal, every living or non-living thing, which whatever is there in the earth is an important part of ecosystem, right? Everyone has a part to play in the ecosystem. International Hyena Day. Africa's 4 hynets are facing increasing threats leading to population decline. So whenever there is a specific day or whenever any species in news, we should look why they are in news. Then only we can understand the relevance of the topic. Their species are declining. Numbers are declining. So it becomes important for us to understand why the numbers are declining and where are the numbers declining. Despite having a negative image, hynets keep prey and insect population under control. Everyone has a role to play in the ecosystem. So they keep the things under control and ecosystem and clean through hunting, feeding on insects and scavenging. Scavenging. So they are cleaning the environment actually. Okay. They are cleaning the environment. Okay. It was observed on 27th April. Very important. This date is important. You have to memorize the fact. Now, Conservation group Wild Africa reports that all 4 extant hyena species in Africa are under increasing threat. So these are the 4 species, hyena species. Now, habitat is what? Forest edges, savannas, grasslands, subdeserts, and mountainous regions. Distribution Africa, part of Middle East and Asia also, and they are nocturnal. This information is important, right? Nocturnal. Basic characteristic can be asked. Average year is 12 years and up to 25 years they can live, and brown hyenas live shorter lives. These are the 4 species. So, spotted hyena is there, striped hyena, brown hyena, and then aardwolf. Okay. So first we'll cover these 3. So what is the protection status? Least concerned, near threatened, and near threatened. Most common, noted for social intelligence, strong jaws, population declining, solitary, seen in Africa, Middle East, India, fewer than 10,000, and then native to southern Africa, very shy. Least concern means population is more, right? Population is okay. Near threatened means that they are approaching towards being threatened, है ना? They are going towards threatened, right? So numbers are decreasing. So this needs attention. Okay, population is less than this. Okay, next is least concern again. Aardwolf, insectivorous and eats termites. Now, physical and sensory adaptation, powerful forequarters, strong neck, jaws for breaking bones, excellent hearing, smell, night vision. These are the things that you can read. Efficient scavengers and hunters, which is very important for us for cleaning the environment. And then characterized by scraggly fur, large ears, dog-like appearance. Conservation concerns. Why the population is declining? Habitat loss. When we are damaging, when we are decreasing their habitat, their area, then they will not get the space. Human wildlife conflict, because of this also they are killing the hyenas. Misconceptions are there. Persecution because of scavenging behavior. This is their nature, right? Animals nature is what? They will be offensive also, defensive also, right? So this is the basic nature. But because of this nature, humans are, according to their understanding, they're killing animals, right? So misconceptions are there because of their scavenging behavior. Poaching and poisoning is also there, right? Next is population estimate are imprecise due to nocturnal and elusive behavior. So we do not get the correct population of these hyenas because of their behavior. Nocturnal in nature. Discuss the ecological role and conservation status of hyenas in Africa and Asia. How do human activities threaten their survivals? Okay. So these are the facts related to different species. Hyenas are keystone scavengers contributing to cleanliness. Answer is what? Which of the following hyena is a primarily insectivorous? You already saw the answer, right? Aardwolf. This is insectivorous. Philippines and US test air defenses as China seizes reef. See, again China. Because of China's activity also, many of the conferences and activities are happening in the Indian Ocean, right? Exercise Balistan 2025. One simple kind of question that can be asked is, exercise Balikatan was held between what all countries, right? So answer is Balikatan 2025 40th edition of the US Philippines bilateral military exercise. So first information is it is bilateral means between two countries. Between two countries, which is Philippines and US. Okay, Philippines and US, and then it is a military exercise. This also you have to keep a note of. It is a military exercise. Balikatan, okay, is currently underway with a record 17,000 personal participants. And then it features a full-scale battle scenario, right? So these exercises are conducted. Why? Because to understand the practice, to strengthen each other's things, and then learn from each other's skills, right? South China Sea is important. Philippines, location of Philippines is important, you should know. And South China Sea, what is happening in South China Sea, what China is doing. Okay, so Balikatan is a Tagalog word meaning shoulder to shoulder and started in 1991. This is the 40th edition, so it started long back. And Philippines and United States are participating. Purpose is to promote military interoperability, readiness, strategic deterrence, help and support each other. Next is treaty. Basis is what conducted on the framework of 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty. This point is not important. Balikatan description, 40th iteration, and then full-scale battle. They are doing the full-scale battle kind of scenario only, and domains are air, land, sea, space, and cyber. Components of the exercise. So these are the things that are being conducted: combined joint logistic over the shore, humanitarian civic assistance, command and control exercise, and multilateral maritime exercise. So related to exercises, whenever countries conduct the exercises, we have to understand the basic thing, what they are doing. And then these are the activities that are being conducted. We don't have to memorize everything because these things are not asked usually. Okay, but countries' name are asked. What all countries are involved? Geopolitical relevance is what? It is aimed at controlling China's assertiveness. China's uh, influence in the South China Sea. Okay, in the South China Sea, and strengthening Indo-Pacific cooperation. United States and Philippines, right? So it is strengthening the Indo-Pacific cooperation between these countries, enhances the strategic posture of US and Philippines under the Mutual Defense Treaty, and it is part of the broader US Indo-Pacific strategy. Okay, Quad partners. Now, how these exercises are strengthening the bilateral relations and strategic deterrence in Indo-Pacific region? Simple question. Okay. Now the answer for this question is answer is D. 1 to 3. B. 2 and 3. Why not A? Sorry. Ah. India and Philippines. So it is US and Philippines, right? So first option is wrong. Answer is 2 and 3. Now Padma Awards. President of India presents 4 Padma Vibhushan, 10, sorry, 10 Padma Bhushan and 57 Padma Shri Award for the year 2025 at civil investiture ceremony held at Rashtrapati Bhavan. So Padma Awards were given. A recognition of distinguished service. So what kind of questions can come? Our focus is only on the nature of question that will be coming from this topic. Padma Awards, highest civilian awards, right? And above, not the highest, one of the highest civilian award is no, Bharat Ratna. Highest civilian is Bharat Ratna, then comes the Padma Awards. Okay, Padma Awards have 3 categories. It's very easy to remember. You know, Padma Awards has 3 categories: Vibhushan, Bhushan and Shri. And it is the highest among these 3 is, yes, so the more letters, the highest. Less letters, then second number. And the least letters, Shri, at the third number. So this is third, this is second, and this is first. Okay. So this was awarded recently. It started in 1954 alongside the Bharat Ratna, and initial classes Pehla Varg, Dusra Varg, Tisra Varg, right? These were the 3 categories initially. Now it was renamed as Vibhushan, Bhushan and Shri. Okay. Next is categories of Padma Awards are, we already know. Now, Vibhushan is given for exceptional and distinguished service in any field, and Bhushan is given in a service of a high order and distinguished service in any field, Padma Shri. This is exceptional and distinguished because the highest among this 3. Vibhushan. Eligibility criteria is all person irrespective of race, occupation, position or gender can receive this award. Government servant not eligible except for doctors and scientists. Next is posthumous award is also there, rare but exceptions allowed in highly deserving cases. Okay, 5-year gap minimum required before receiving a higher award, though can be relaxed. Self-nomination is allowed. Selection process is what? Padma Award Committee is there, which is constituted annually by the Prime Minister, chaired by the Cabinet Secretary. Recommendation then goes to the Prime Minister, submitted to the Prime Minister, and final approval is given by the President. Basic facts: award presentation by the President and March or April. Benefits are certificate is there and signed by the President, and a medallion is there. Now, there is a cap also on the award that beyond this number we should not give. So 120 awards per year, and then no title. The Padma Awards do not, very important, Padma Awards do not confer any title, and this cannot be used as a prefix or a suffix before the name. Okay. So this is what it comes under. Which right? Article? Polity. Oh, you did not attend. Okay. So this is related to polity also, right? Article. Which article? Online students, you cannot use any title before your name or after your name. Which article? Go and find the answer. Okay. Disciplines covered: art, social. So any field from any field, any discipline can be covered and they can be given for the service of a high order or distinguished service. Padma awards are an essential topic for UPSC and mains and governance award and recognition. Now mains question. Discuss the significance of Padma awards in recognizing the contribution of individual in various fields and how it aligns with the India's democratic value. Now this MCQ. Okay. Consider the following statement regarding the Padma Awards. Which of the statement are correct? This also we have to read. Correct or incorrect? So first is, it is conferred by the Prime Minister of India. Is it conferred by the Prime Minister of India? By whom? Second is, the awards are restricted to Indian citizens and do not extend to overseas citizens of India. Correct? Nomination are restricted to only government employees. Which statement is correct? No, there is one correct statement. One correct statement will be there. One of the highest civilian awards. Answer is, first statement is not correct and third is not correct, because answer is the second only. The awards are restricted to Indian citizens, civilian, highest civilian awards. So these are extended, not extended to, and do not extend to overseas citizens of India. You will not see overseas citizens coming and taking this award. As tension escalates, India's military spend outpaces Pakistan by nearly 9 times. Tension is there, India, Pakistan. So this is a SIPRI report on military expenditure. India's military spend outpaces Pakistan by 9 times. Trend in world military expenditure. Report 2024, SIPRI Insight. SIPRI is what? Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, and this is 2024 edition, and it tells us about the trend in world military expenditure. So it is telling that India has outpaced Pakistan. 9 times more expenditure is there in India than Pakistan. Publisher is SIPRI, and Nature is annual report is given offering a global overview of military expenditure of countries. Now, highlights are what? Global. It is a global level report. This is a global level trend. It reached a record high of 2.46 trillion, right? So total expenditure increased from 2.24 trillion in 2023. So military expenditure is increasing. What does it mean? Military expenditure of countries are increasing. It means that, first of all, countries are getting stronger. And there is tension also, conflicts, tension. So they are doing what? Getting themselves prepared, right? Defense ready. Okay. Represents 1.9% of global GDP. This data is important. You can remember this and code this data whenever there is a need. Okay. Now, Europe spending is there, growth is there. Everywhere we see growth, right? Key drivers we see. So, Asia and Oceania region driven largely by China. China's activities are making us, every country around this area, ready. India's military expenditure ranked 5th highest in the world. Very important data. You can memorize this fact. Expenditure is 86.1 billion. Growth, it is increasing. And comparison, we already saw, this is the news. Share of global spending is 3.2%. Now, China's defense spending is 314 billion. Now, ours is 86. It's 314. Growth 7%. And top 5 military spenders. USA, China, Russia, Germany, and India. This data is important. I think you should remember this thing. Topmost military spending country is USA, then China, then Russia, Germany, and India. Make some mnemonic and remember this fact so that you can write this in your answers also. 997 billion is of United States of America. Okay, now reflects India's focus on defense modernization. So modernization is also happening, and regional threats are also there because of why we are doing the modernization. We are getting ourselves ready. Supports India's maritime and border security amid tension with China and Pakistan. So our neighbors are our what? Damage. Useful input for policy maker. This will be very useful for the policy makers, right? Mains practice question is discuss the strategic implication of India's increasing defense expenditure in the context of regional security and global power dynamics. Very important question and very beautiful also. How India's uh, expenditure in military, how it is going to impact the regional dynamics. First question. And it will be helping India in building, emerging as a global leader or building its strong image, right? Next is regional security also. India, it is never an attacker. India is never an attacker, right? It has never been, right? But it also helps other countries also whenever they are under threat. So regional security, it gives a chance for India to build or to emerge as a global leader again, and a friend also. Regional security, it will be helping neighboring countries also. Global power dynamics also will be influenced, right? In light of SIPRI report. Now, this question, with reference to SIPRI trends in World Military Expenditure Report 2024, consider the following statement. India is the third highest military spender in 2024. Is it correct? India is not third. Third is Russia. Third is Russia. First is US. Second is China. And India is the fifth highest. The first statement is wrong. Next is China has marked 3 decades of continuous growth in military expenditure. So these kind of trend are also asked. Not exactly years will be asked, but some kind of trend UPSC can give. Next is global defense spending in 2024 was 1.6 of global GDP. Hmm? Global defense spending was 1.6% of global GDP. Is it correct? Answer is what? Option India was fifth and global spending was 1.9% of GDP. Okay, so answer is B only, because third is also not correct. Okay, next is Earth Day 2025. FAO launches 9.38 million initiative, $9.38 million initiative to improve ecosystem restoration monitoring using advanced tech. See, very, very important. Always, whenever these attractive or unique kind of initiatives are coming, their names are coming, please memorize it. Please understand that it is becoming important. Right? Aim for nature. So, what is the full form? This can be asked. Aim for nature was in news recently. So, what is the full form of aim for nature? So this is a $1 million initiative, $9.8 million initiative on Earth Day means to conserve the earth, to protect the earth, ecosystem, right? Ecosystem restoration. And we are using advanced technology also, data solution to support restoration effort, and it will cover forest, wetland, grassland, marine ecosystem and degraded agricultural land. So whole of the earth will be covered under this. Aim for nature, which is involved FAO's push for global ecosystem restoration. Food and Agriculture Organization has initiated this thing of the United Nations, launched a new global initiative. The full form of Aim for Nature is Accelerating Innovation Monitoring for Nature Restoration. Understood? What is the full form? Others? A stands for accelerating, I stands for M stands for monitoring, for nature restoration. So NATU, nature, and RE, restoration, to strengthen global efforts in ecosystem restoration. Okay. Now the leading organization is FAO. Okay. Time period, very important, timeline 2025 to 2028, and funding of $9 million supported by the United Kingdom. And then target is what? Same, see, 30% of degraded ecosystem by 2030. Which conference? Now only we covered in last slide. 30%. It is also aligning with the United Nations Biodiversity Conservation 2022. Okay, their vision, 30% of the ecosystem we have to cover by 2030, right? As per target 2 of global biodiversity framework. So GBF, global biodiversity framework, is there. So target 2, it is matching with that thing. Okay, goes beyond forest. It is not only including forest but wetlands, marine ecosystem and everything, agricultural land also. What will it do? Use technology and data framework, and transparency, accountability will be there. When technology is there, transparency, accountability will be there. Next is develop technical tools also for ecosystem restoration and support indigenous people in restoration, ecosystem restoration. Part of FAO's broader aim for forest program, but with a holistic ecosystem approach. So this is a part of broader aim for forest program, but aim for forest is only focusing on forest, and this is aim for nature restoration. Okay, what is global biodiversity framework target 2? So degraded terrestrial, inland water, coastal, marine ecosystem by 2030. So 30 into 30 initiative, global biodiversity framework. Enhances national capacities for monitoring, reporting, restoration effort. So restoration, whenever we are restoring any system, any ecosystem, that effort has to be monitored. Okay, contributes to the uh, resilience of the climate and biodiversity recovery and sustainable development. And this aligns with the commitment of the United Nations Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. So these are the important points related to this. Now, mains practice question: how can innovative ecosystem monitoring system contribute to achieving biodiversity goal and climate resilience? Red-crowned roofed turtle returns to Ganga after 30 years. Very important topic, red-crowned roofed turtle. And what is the importance? Because it has returned to Ganga after 30 years. So, which is why this becomes important. Online students, are you there? Can you say hi? Is everything clear? Everything okay? My speed is okay? Are you able to follow up? Please type yes. Red-crowned roofed turtle. So, this is also kind of reintroduction, right? Reintroduction. Cheetah's reintroduction. Two terms were in news related to cheetah. Two names were in news related to cheetahs. And one wildlife sanctuary is also in news. Which is that? Gandhi Sagar. Gandhi Sagar. And names? Kuno. Kuno National Park to Gandhi Sagar. Right? But two names were there in the news. Those cheetahs have been given two names. So that those names become important, because that question can also be asked that these two were recently in news. What are these cheetah reintroduction plan or whatever the options will be given. So remember the two names, right? Please understand. Go through the PYQs as much as possible. Last 5 years, especially 2020 to 2025, very important. All the PYQs you should go through and see what kind of questions are coming. So reintroduction plan. Okay, in a major success for conservation effort, critically, see, it is telling us the status of this species, red-crowned roof turtle. It is critically endangered, matlab highest attention should be given, because their numbers are declining, almost declining, has been sighted in Ganga river after 30-year absence. Common name is Bengal roof turtle, red-crowned roof turtle. It is also called as Batagur Kachwa. And then habitat is freshwater rivers of India. Habitat is important because these are asked. Freshwater rivers of India, Bangladesh and Nepal. Distribution in Ganga and Brahmaputra basin, and stronghold in National Chambal River Ghadial Sanctuary, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. Ghadial. Okay. Physical characteristic. This we have to understand, because sometimes some questions are asked, right? Like males much smaller than females, reaching the size. Distinctive feature is what? Reddish orange head is there. That is why it is called red crown. With black crown and greenish brown carapace is there. Yellow plastron with black spots and webbed feet is there. Strong jaws. Diet is omnivorous, includes plants, mollusk and insect. Now, conservation status is IUCN has given it critically endangered status. Wildlife Protection Act in India 1972, Schedule 1. Again, very important. Attention has to be given. Sites Appendix 2. Okay. Ecological significance is what? It is an indicator species for riverine ecosystem health. Indicator. It indicates the system, the health of the river. Indicator species means they will indicate the change which is happening in the ecosystem in which they are living. Okay, next is this, their return suggests improvement in water quality. It has returned to Ganga, means it is habitable now. Ganga is habitable for these species and habitat conservation. Protection benefits other endangered species like gharial and dolphins. So not only it will benefit these species, the kachua, the turtle, but also gharial, which are also living, and then dolphins also. So Ganga, dolphin is there, right? Dolphin is what? Dolphin. Hmm. Endangered. So dolphins are, it will also help the dolphins. Now, what are the threats? Habitat destruction, poaching, illegal trade, predation of ag and hatchling, low breeding success in wildlife. So this turtle is found in Chambal and Ganga rivers. Areas are Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and and areas are very important. Critically endangered under IUCN Schedule 1 under 1972. We already covered this thing. Now discuss the importance of riverine species like the red-crowned roofed turtle and in biodiversity conservation. How can their resurgence be sustained if they have come again? Now how can we sustain them? So we should make the habitat habitable, right? They can live and they can sustain there. Again, if their number starts declining, then again no use, right? Yeah. So proper monitoring should be there. Okay. So this is the topic that we covered now. I hope you understood the importance. Okay. So I'll see you next week now. I hope everything was clear. Any doubt is there? No, no doubt. Understood? Online students, did you understand everything? This is for today. More topics were there and all the topics are like very important, so we should know how to cover and what to cover, right? So like this you have to cover the news whenever any news comes, no, just make notes and think what all dimensions we can add, because current affairs is so vast, we have to be limited also, and to be limited we have to understand what kind of questions can come. For that we have to go through the PYQ. So every day make this exercise of at least solving 10 PYQs or just reading the PYQ, 10 15 PYQs or 20. It will only take 1 hour, I think, for new students, and for old students like 20, half an hour. Okay. So I'll see you next week. Thank you very much. Study well.